In the rugged badlands of the American West, amid ancient rock and dust, two men went to war. But their weapons weren't muskets or sabers. They wielded notebooks, dynamite, and deceit. What began as a shared scientific passion turned into one of the most bitter rivalries in history. A feud so intense, it helped define paleontology and nearly destroyed it. This was the Bone Wars. The story begins in the years after the American Civil War, when science was flourishing in the United States, and dinosaurs were just beginning to capture the public imagination. At the center of this new frontier were two brilliant, ambitious men, Othniel Charles Marsh of Yale University and Edward Drinker Cope of Philadelphia's Academy of Natural Sciences. At first, they were allies, two academics with a mutual interest in unearthing prehistoric life. But that alliance crumbled in 1870 when Marsh secretly bribed workers at a New Jersey marl pit to send new fossil finds directly to him, cutting Cope out of the loop. The betrayal was personal. Soon, their professional competition devolved into a full-scale war. Throughout the 1870s and into the 1880s, Marsh and Cope each launched rival expeditions into the fossil-rich territories of the American West, Wyoming, Colorado, Nebraska. They hired scouts, teams of diggers, and even spies to watch each other's movements. When one secured access to a promising quarry, the other tried to poach it. At the bone beds of Como Bluff, discovered in 1877, Marsh secured the rights to one of the richest fossil sites in the world. Cope retaliated by opening his own nearby quarries, often in secret. Both sides accused the other of sabotage. Fossil sites were filled with dirt. Skeletons were smashed with hammers. At times, hired guards were posted to keep watch, some armed, some throwing stones. Their rivalry was not confined to the field. In scientific journals and newspaper columns, they slandered one another relentlessly. Cope famously published a paper mocking Marsh's mistakes and accused him of academic theft. Marsh struck back by highlighting Cope's most embarrassing blunder, his reconstruction of Elasmosaurus with the skull placed at the tail end of the creature. It was a public humiliation Cope never lived down. Amid this chaos, something astonishing happened. Paleontology exploded. Between them, Marsh and Cope discovered and named over 136 new dinosaur species. Among them were Triceratops, Stegosaurus, Diplodocus, Allosaurus, and Apatosaurus. The discoveries captivated the public and turned dinosaurs into icons of prehistoric mystery. But it came at a cost. Both men rushed to publish their findings, often with little verification. Many species were misclassified or redundantly named. Scientific standards suffered. By the late 1880s, both men were financially and reputationally exhausted. Cope, who had sunk his personal fortune into expeditions, died in near poverty in 1897. Marsh, though initially better funded through Yale and the U.S. Geological Survey, also died with strained finances in 1899. Each left behind unopened crates of fossils, treasures that would be studied long after their deaths. The Bone Wars did lasting damage to scientific collaboration, but their legacy is also undeniable. The rivalry brought paleontology into the spotlight, inspired generations of fossil hunters, and helped build the collections of institutions like the American Museum of Natural History and Yale's Peabody Museum. Today, their story serves as both a warning and an inspiration. The Bone Wars show how obsession and ego can distort science, but also how competition, even when toxic, can spark discovery on a grand scale. Two men, one ruined friendship, and a battlefield of bones that still shapes our understanding of life millions of years ago. If you liked what you watched, please like and subscribe. We post interesting and crazy stories from throughout history every Wednesday and Saturday. Yesterday's craziness, because yesterday was crazy too.